The boy used his mouth to pick up the iron nail in the plate. Then he swallowed it without hesitation. But he didn't expect that the next second there was an accident. He seemed to be stuck by the iron nail he swallowed. Calmly, he chewed it one by one. A white egg came out of his mouth. The audience around him were stunned by the magical scene. But the boy's performance was not over. As more and more eggs were spit out, the audience's applause also filled the cloth bag next to him. At the end of the performance, he happily returned home. A silver coin came out of his mother's ear with one hand. Then he made his mother shake herself hard. Suddenly, a silver coin fell on the floor like a raindrop. The sudden surprise made his mother excited, and the boy also assured his mother that these silver coins would turn into gold coins 10 years later. However, 10 years passed. He still performed magic on the street when he grew up. He could only keep the money he earned warmly. Just when he was about to die, a piece of news in the newspaper made him have an idea. So he came to the police station to find the director. He threw 36 yuan left over from his body on the table. He wanted to make a bet with the director. He bet that he could escape from the police station cell under the guard's nose. This arrogant attitude immediately angered the director. He sent Harry to the cell. His wife gave him a kiss before she left. The director immediately stopped them to prevent them from making small movements when kissing. He even asked Harry to open his mouth to check carefully. After confirming that there was nothing in his mouth, the director left the cell with peace of mind. Then it was Harry's performance time. His throat was constantly locked. The unlock key passed to him by his wife was put into his mouth. This escape performance at the police station made Harry the headline of the newspaper. People called him the escape master. But Harry knew that if he couldn't perform new magic, people would forget him soon. That day, he met a genius prop designer. He invented a quick-release device that not only greatly reduced the unlock time, but also made it easier to hide. This surprised Harry. With Jim's help, Harry was ready to perform another crazy performance. The man was covered with iron chains, but he was not nervous at all. He even told the guards around him with a smile he would escape from the cell without being noticed by everyone. In order to avoid being helped on the way, 2 guards carried him directly to the cell. They even tied his mouth with a cloth rope. The police chief believed that Harry would not be able to escape this time, so he asked the reporter to take a picture of victory. After the door outside the cell was closed, Harry began his wonderful performance. As the camera slowly zooms in, you will find that his left hand has 6 fingers, and the key to open the lock is hidden in the fake finger. After the police chief pushed the door open, he found that there was only an iron chain left in the cell. There was no Harry's figure at all. And this time, the more difficult escape made the people all over the country know him. But Harry was not satisfied with this, and designed a new escape performance with the prop designer Jim. According to the model, they made a special water box. This kind of performance is very dangerous. If there is a slight mistake, Harry may die in the Northwest. However, there was an accident. When they tested it for the first time, the cover should have been lifted, but it was stuck. At the critical moment, Jim's clothes smashed the glass. Harry was lucky to survive, but he was not trapped by this accident and decided to hold a public performance on time. On the day of the performance, Harry, who stood in the middle of the stage, introduced everyone to the unprecedented escape of the water box. Then the cover was locked by the staff. Finally, the water box was blocked with a red screen. As time went by, the audience below watched the stage closely. After more than 3 minutes, the audience below realized something was wrong. They stood up and asked the performance to stop and call for help immediately. The panic soon spread throughout the audience, and Jim and his wife were also panicking. So, they immediately called the firemen to prepare to save Harry. But when the screen in front of the water box was taken away, they saw the water box was empty. This made the audience below extremely surprised. When the fireman with the axe turned around, the audience realized that the person in front of them was Harry. The whole venue immediately remembered the thunderous applause. And this unprecedented performance also made Harry's name heard throughout Europe. But his madness didn't stop. In another performance for Harry, Harry invited a sniper to the stage, and he stood in front of the target face to face. Faced with hundreds of snipers, he was ready to perform an empty shot. The man stood calmly in front of the target and was ready to perform an empty shot. Harry was shocked at the moment, and the sniper in front of him was also nervous. Under the man's urge, the sniper finally fired a shot. Everyone couldn't bear to see this cruel scene. But something shocking happened. Harry was safe in front of the target, and there was a complete bullet in his tooth. This strange scene was also shocking to De Wong. But what they didn't know was that when the sniper was loading the bullets, there was a magnet under the trigger of the compressed bullet. When he pulled out the trigger, the bullet at the bottom of the barrel was quietly taken out by him. And what Harry was biting was another ready-made bullet. This wonderful performance made Harry's reputation even more prominent. The European royal family has invited him to perform. Harry was soon invited to perform at the Kremlin Palace, and this performance shocked all the royal family members. He only sent a piece of paper to the audience and let them write what they thought was impossible on the paper. Then he collected all the pieces of paper and let the princess in the audience pick one at random. But when Harry opened the paper, he found that he didn't know the words on it at all. So he gave the paper to the queen and asked her to translate the task on it. But when the queen saw the task on the paper, she said that no one could do this because what was written on the paper was the bell in the palace. And this bell has been used for hundreds of years. Even the rope to pull the bell has disappeared. It's impossible to lie to her about this. But Harry smiled and said it was just a small matter. Then he stuffed a white handkerchief into a red handkerchief. Then he made a white rope out of the red handkerchief. Then he asked the princess to pull the white rope in his hand. As the rope was pulled down one by one, the sound of the bell really rang. All the royal family members were shocked, and then they kneeled on the ground sincerely. They believed that only God could complete this impossible task. In fact, this was just a little trick of Harry. When he took out the piece of paper chosen by the princess, he did a trick and changed the piece of paper into the one he had prepared in advance. At this time, the assistant Gemma had come to the building not far away, and there was a gun with a silencer in the room. Then he used a telescope to observe Harry. When the princess pulled down the rope, he pulled the trigger and shot at the target. So a performance like a miracle came to an end. The film is based on the great magician Harry Houdini, and he also pushed the art of escape to the top. The film ends here. Pay attention to the example. It's better to eat deliciously